Okay guys, before we start the video, just quickly, First Man is so much more than just a YouTube channel. We've got digital products, we've got physical products. The digital products include courses, books, ebooks, etc. And the physical products is everything from supplements to clothing to grooming products to the paperback physical copy of our book. So the two links will be below. Go and check them out, guys. And now back to the video you came here to watch. Okay, guys, in this video, I want to talk about very briefly a mindset that a lot of men have when it comes to women. They're not better than you, okay? Because a woman is beautiful doesn't mean she's better than you. It doesn't mean she has the upper hand, okay? A lot of guys have this. Sorry, I'm just trying to put some tape back in place before I forget. It's where all the markings for all the cameras, all the lighting, etc. Yeah, it doesn't mean she's better than you, right? And a lot of guys do this, and this is where they fail at the first hurdle. You know that saying, you're punching above your weight? Fucking hell, you're lucky to be with her. You know, and guys are always like, have you seen my girlfriend? Yeah, like, mate, I don't know why she wants me. I'm so lucky. Why? Beauty's temporary. It's so sex appeal. You know, like, look at any man in his 40s or 50s. Is he happily married? Most of them are like, oh, for fuck's sake. Like, this is a pain in the ass. When they first met, he was like, this is the most beautiful woman in the world. I'm going to marry her. She's going to... Beauty, lust, whatever, sex appeal has this crazy effect on men where you'll do things you normally wouldn't do. And this is a mindset a lot of guys need to get out of, is these women aren't better than you because they're beautiful. My throat is going to keep going, by the way, guys. I've just had a cold. I'm just so glad to be back. I don't care. Yeah, they'll look at it and they'll be like, that woman's stunning. She's a straight 10 out of 10 and I'm like a fucking 6. That means she's better than me. She ranks above me. Not at all. And like women can sniff this mentality out a mile away. Do you know why? Because they know their true value themselves, right? If you're a beautiful woman, but you've never accomplished anything, and you know when a beautiful woman is just like, I don't know, just low on confidence, I'm very insecure, and a guy goes, "Why? You're the most beautiful woman going. You should be so confident. Everybody wishes they were with you. All the girls wish they looked like you." Yeah, but she knows that. She knows she's beautiful. She's not a fucking moron living under a rock. The reason she's insecure is she knows that that's all she has, right? And that's not all women. A lot of women, you know, everybody takes time to build up in life. That's fair for anybody in terms outside of beauty and sex appeal. That's the same for everybody, man, woman, whatever. That's a fair race. Okay, if you rise to the top in a career, man, woman, whatever, well, that's on you. You know, that's got nothing to do with beauty and whatever. In the early days, you can get a few promotions, but by the end of the race, everybody's had their time in the sun. So if you're at the top, then you're the winner. But she might know that she's some, 23-year-old beauty with, she never really got into the career thing because she was so beautiful. She was like, I don't really need to. I was trying to grow my social following. I thought I could become famous. I dated a bunch of millionaire guys, famous guys, dated a bunch of footballers. They paid for everything. And she's just like, I don't know. I'm like a normal girl. I'm below average intelligence. I've not accomplished anything. I don't have a good job. I don't really do anything with my time. But because I'm attractive, people treat me differently. Like for her, that's a giant red flag to every guy that does that. It's like, but I'm nobody special. I'm really like I am insecure because I know the real me, and I know once these looks fade, I'm worried that I won't have anything left. And this is why, and I would never make these videos to, you got to be careful as you get older, right? I've become very conscious of this. I, I make these videos to help men and support men, but at the same time, because it's an A/B test, a lot of the time you're saying to men your life will get better, but then you're also saying to women once you get to a certain age, things won't be better. And in the early days, I got a lot of pushback, and I used to fight back against it and be like, but you're wrong. I didn't have the awareness to understand that maybe I was telling that woman exactly what she already knew. And she just didn't want to fucking hear it. It's like, listen, you big-eared prick. Don't be telling me by 30 I'm not going to look as good as I did at 21 because I already fucking semi-know that at the back of my mind. And I don't need somebody reminding me because it already keeps me up at night, right? It's the same as like a man who doesn't have money. It's like, I know if I don't get to 30 and I've got money, I'm a bit of a bum, right? It just enters our head. Just makes us like, oh, for fuck's sake. And you got to be very careful of that, okay? And I never make these videos to offend women and drag them down and make them feel bad and whatever. But I think it's well known by society that a woman's value, you know, it sounds terrible because a woman's value isn't completely, you know, hinged on beauty and sex appeal. But by society's rules, it's like 90% yes, it is. Right? And it's sad to say, but a woman's life will drastically change once she gets to a certain age and she doesn't look as good anymore. Well, it's not a certain age, it doesn't have to be a target, but it's a rough estimate, okay? If she doesn't look the same as she used to, I don't know, gains a few pounds, doesn't look as pretty as she used to, her body doesn't, you know, work the way it used to. I think work's the wrong term. Her body doesn't, I could say look again, her body doesn't look the same way as it used to. She'll get treated differently by people, and it's really fucking sad. But that shit's coming. And I think every woman knows that at the back of their minds. And they're scared about that coming. Okay, so you've got to be gentle. You've got to be subtle with these things, guys. That's the new former first man. I think we definitely have to do that. And I want to teach you guys that moving forward because it's just the mature thing to do. But from your perspective, again, going back to the male side, she knows that. Okay, so when you're sat there and you're going, oh my God, you're the most beautiful girl going, I don't know why you'd want me. She's just like, oh my God, he's so blown away by beauty, which doesn't mean a lot to her because she's had it all her life. She's like, who's this weirdo? You know, whereas if you were actually judging her on her character, who she is as a person, you know, you're actually spotting certain traits and going, look, I think you've got potential in that area. It's going to mean so much more. But from a mentality point of view, that's fucking a lot of you guys up by seeing a beautiful woman across the room and being like, oh, she won't want me. She's what? She's what? Like, okay, so let's say I sleep with a woman and she doesn't call me back. Okay, am I losing sleep? No. But I'm happy with my penis size. I'm happy with my sexual performance. That's on me. Okay, that's just something that's to do with me. But now let's look at the facts, okay? So I can get that out of the way. I know it's not that. I can then look at the facts. Okay, well, I'm making just sub of £100,000 per month, and it's going to rise enormously over the next couple of years. I've got my own Netflix, technically, once I put the content on there. Okay, I've got my own supplement company. I'm wearing my own boxer shorts as we speak. I've got my own body wash, and it's going to evolve into a whole testosterone-friendly range. There's multiple other things coming to market as we speak. You know, I've written my own book. I'm a published author. I've built up large followings off the back of the business. I can talk articulately on camera. I'm a confident, intelligent individual. I'm in top 1% shape. You know, I've got great assets. I live in a penthouse, drive a Range Rover. Is it a fucking Bugatti and a penthouse in New York? No, but very fucking happy with what I've got. Okay, I'm done talking about myself. It's boring. What about you? Oh, well, I'm beautiful. Okay. What's next? Well, having sex with me is amazing. I agree. What's next? You see what I mean, guys? I've got zero fear. I've got zero fear, especially when I know your trump card, your biggest fucking smack on the table is limited. It's not going to last forever. Whereas my biggest trump card is probably the fact that I've done well for myself. As long as I don't fuck it up and I do the right things and I stick to my core fundamentals, it's only going to get better. So it's like, as a man, you're very much valued on your money, success, and assets. Well, they're going to improve. As a woman, beauty and sex appeal, well, that's diminishing. So I've never looked at it as like, I'm walking into a negotiation and I'm on the back foot here. She's the upper party. I'd be lucky to land this deal here. I've always looked at it as like, I've put so many fucking points on the board. If you aren't interested, I'm happy with that because I know somebody else will. It's not even if you ain't interested, fuck you. It's not even that. I'm past that now. It's like, fair enough. Maybe it's not for you, but it'll be for someone else. From experience, it seems to be for other people too. Other women seem to find me attractive. They seem to like it. So it's like, I have absolutely zero fear here. You know, what other options do you have? Oh, you've got all these guys that want you because you're beautiful. Yeah, great. Fair enough. Let me know how that goes when that fades away. Because there's plenty of prom queen that's ended up 40 years old and divorced and lost everything and been swapped out for the secretary who's 22. right? So and this, like I said, I don't want to make this video to shit on women or make women feel worse and say like, oh, your future's going to be terrible. That's a horrible way to run a channel. What a horrible life purpose too. But that ultimately, without sounding like a dick, is why you guys shouldn't fear any of this stuff. Why you guys shouldn't be one bit scared of approaching a woman, because as long as you've put some points on the board and you're happy with who you are as a man, well then you hold the upper hand vastly. Because here's the thing, right? If I sit next to a woman and I start having a conversation with her and she's not giving anything back, I don't go, and this is what a lot of guys will do. Oh, I'm obviously not saying the right things. I need to impress her. I need to up my game. I sit there and I go, she's brain dead. She has no conversation. She has nothing to say back. If she's just like, yeah, rather than being like, she's not interested, I'm like, this woman isn't on my level. She's getting destroyed here. That's the difference in mindsets. A lot of you guys would be like, damn, I fucked that one up. She seemed as though she wasn't interested. Probably just not the type of girl that can hold a conversation. She's probably petrified. Because there's a lot of women in my life that I talk to, or either friends or the girls that I date or whatnot, who I can have a conversation with for like an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours. They can hold their own. If they went on some of these podcasts, they'd destroy a lot of these guys. And it's like, once you start dating these women, once you're around these women, you realize, oh, some of them have hundreds of traits to offer. But beauty is no common denominator in that. You don't see a woman who's beautiful, who's dressed well, and you're like, she's going to be intelligent. She might have just fucking had good genetics and then saw some looks on Instagram and copied them, you know, and maybe dad lent her the money. Like, it's not, I don't find a lot of stuff impressive. I would find it impressive if I saw a woman do the sort of things that I would do, like see a homeless person and buy them a pizza. You know, if I saw a woman do that for no reason, she just did it because she was on her own walking down the street and she stopped and went and bought a pizza for a homeless guy. I'd be like, hey, come here. We need to have a chat. That's a fucking mindset. I need to be talking to you. And I'm sure any woman that has that ability to make that happen, to do something like that, is also a woman who can hold a conversation. You need to start spotting things like that. Rather than looking and being like, she's beautiful, she's way out of my league. But why? What justifies that? Oh, she's pretty. Like, you'll end up having sex with this woman, coming and feeling the exact same way about her as you do every woman. Where you'll be like, yeah, I kind of want to get out of here. I want to kind of meet up with the boys. Oh, I'm hungry. You know, you're thinking about everything but sex. Oh, what time was the football on? I better go and watch that. Same thing, right? It looks good when she's on your arm and whatever. But if there's no substance behind that, if there's no conversation, if there's no accolades and accomplishments or anything that she's done with her life or anything that you actually like about her non-physical, it's not gonna, it's not really gonna go anywhere, is it? And that is why, until you find out who the woman is, what she stands for, what she's done with her own life, you can't be impressed by it. You could be the most beautiful woman in the world, but you're lazy and you treat people like shit and you complain all the time. I'm not scared. I'm not scared of an individual like that. I'm actually very put off. Okay, so if I see a beautiful woman and I went over to talk to her, why would I then have fear until I have crossed those other boxes too? Until I've seen who she is as an individual. And a lot of you guys have got that wrong mentality where it's like she's better than me because she's more attractive than me. It's stupid. I personally don't think there's more than, I personally don't think there's anybody better than me on the planet. Okay, it's just my mindset. I'm just a born winner. That might be a problem. Okay, it might be an ego thing. I'll deal with that. But I don't think there's many women on planet Earth who have accomplished enough to stand shoulder to shoulder with me and be like, I'm your equal. Okay, that's fair. That's based on merit, what you've accomplished, what you've gone through, the stuff that you've beaten. That is how I value myself. So go and talk to that beautiful woman. But beautiful. Why have you added that in? Go and talk to that beautiful. I'll go and talk to that woman if I see a reason to go and talk to that woman. Like, I need to see something. If our paths cross and we have a conversation and it turns out she's actually a really nice person, I'll pursue it. But it's like, go over out of your way to go and talk to this woman over in the corner because she's beautiful. No, fuck off. I'm not doing that. It's embarrassing, right? But if like we bump into each other and I'm like, hey, it's all right, you go first. Then we start talking. I'm not gonna be like, oh, I'm nervous. She's really pretty. I'm talking to a pretty girl. No, because then I'm like, she could be a bitch. Like, you go first. Now let me listen to see how you treat the staff when you're ordering your drink. And she's like, no, not that one, the other one. For God's sake, you guys always get it wrong. See ya. I'm not talking to you. Then she turns around and smiles at me. Yeah, fuck off. You really think I'm going to pay you any attention? Once you deploy that mindset that I've just given you guys there, everything changes. Whole game changes. You stop worrying. You stop panicking. And it, looking at beauty and being like, I need it. It's very primitive. It's very childlike. It's dog-like. Food, huh? Food. I can smell food. I want it. It just like changes your brain. It's a weird way to think. Whereas if you engage the neocortex and you start thinking like a grown adult in the modern world in 2023, and you go, that woman's really attractive. I like the way she looks, but like, what's my reason? Then it changes the entire game. And what you'll find is you'll get 10 times better results with 10 times better women, and you'll actually have a reason to go and talk to that individual. You'll actually have something to say. And all the fear goes away, because instead of being like, hey, I think you're really beautiful, I want to fuck, basically what you're trying to say without saying it, you're like, hey, I love what you did there for that homeless guy. I thought that was really impressive. There's not a lot of people like you. What a great way to start a conversation. That's brilliant. You're like, do you do any other work like this? Oh, she turns out she does some charitable work. And you're like, do you know what? I find it really impressive. I'm willing to give up a day to help you with that. She's going to think you're a much better person. You already think she's a much better person. What a great basis. What a great foundation to start a conversation on, or start a potential relationship on, than just nice ass. I saw you from behind. That's the one. I saw you walking down the street. I thought you were gorgeous. Well, you've just approached that woman from behind. So what do you mean you saw her walking down the street? You just thought she had a great ass or great body or whatever. Like, it's so flaky, and you get all these pickup artists that will drive that. If you see like a beautiful woman and you want to approach, that puts fucking fear in a man already. That puts me off. That whole shit of like, there's a beautiful woman over there, she's sat in the corner, you want to approach, you got to come up with a way, like, oh, fuck all that. I'm just going to get on with my life, and if the situation permits it, I'll have a conversation. If we make eye contact, if I've got something to say, I'll say it. If I haven't, I'll just hold eye contact till you look away, because fuck you. You're not going to beat me with eye contact. If I see you working hard in the gym, I'm like, that's a good mentality. She's a hard worker, and we cross paths. I'll let you know. Just that. It's organic. Okay? But a lot of you guys have got this mentality of, she's beautiful, she's better than me. She outranks me. On what fucking scale? Is this a beauty pageant? Are you trying to be Mr. and Miss World? Because I'm not. I don't really give a fuck. I've made the best of myself. I think I look pretty good. I'm quite happy with the way I look. I also know I'm not going to win any fucking beauty contests. I'm okay with that, because I know who I am as an individual. I've ticked a lot of good boxes. Okay? I'm masculine. I'm in good shape. I'd rather that than be like some handsome Fabio looking motherfucker. Oh, I'm handsome and she's good looking, so we should be together. What's that? What is that primitive high school mentality? Get out of that, guys. It's fucking up all of your relationships with women. It's fucking up your ability to have a normal conversation with a woman and actually get to know her for her. Okay?